Hello everybody. Well, thank you for joining me today. On this Friday, we're going to be looking at the new Phoenix 2023 catalogue. So if anyone hasn't seen it yet, this is available on the Phoenix Light website, www.phoenixlight.com. So as I said, we're going to be looking through the new catalogue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up on my screen here, and I'm going to go through it bit by bit, looking through each section from lights that have come out recently through to ones that have been there for a while, and we'll just talk what's coming out soon. So let's switch over to that now. If you've got any questions as well while we're doing this, guys, just put it in the comments and I'll answer any questions that we've got. So, as you can see, we're already halfway through it. Let's ping it back to the beginning. Right, let me just get my screen properly set up as well. Right, so 2023 catalogue. So if you go for any of the catalogues, we always get a nice explanation from Phoenix about the history. They've been around since 2001, and in their time they've gone through many different lights, from really small ones all the way through to the big ones we see today. I'll quickly breeze through some bits here, including the most recent ones here. We've got the, in 2021, they had an award for the HM65RT, as well as the PD40R. In 2022, they had this concept design for this emergency flashlight. Quite excited to see if they'll release that one, but we haven't heard anything from that yet. Sales network. Us are a part of a big network all the way across the world. America, South America, Australia, Africa, Europe, everywhere you'll find Phoenix. So if you're looking for a Phoenix, either if you're in the UK, get in contact with us, and if not, reach out to Phoenix Light themselves and they'll point you in the right direction. Something about here, we've got harsh environment testing. So Phoenix's motto is lighting for extremes, and we like to show that we've got the strongest lights for the job. So that includes drop testing. Basically, they'll drop it from either 1.5 meters, a meter, 2 meters, depending on what it is, and make sure it can withstand that level of damage. High and low temperature tests. This could be working in hot, cold conditions. Here in the UK, we're probably more likely to see cold conditions. Afternoon to you, Alexander Oldfield. And then, so they have the high, low, cold temperatures. Recently, we've seen some very cold temperatures here in the UK. We had, I think it was about -5 here in Cardiff. Even colder up here in Scotland. Especially where Alex is from up there. IPX8 waterproofing test. So the one thing that we say in the UK, a lot of rain here, so having waterproofed equipment is very key to us. Anything that's IP68, so IP68 is dustproof and waterproof to 2 meters. That is a great lamp for you to have. And then finally, the switch pressure tests. Basically, they're going to push the button many times to make sure that switch doesn't fail. Next, we're going to quick look at some of the technological innovations that Phoenix have been working on. First, it is the APF technology system. This essentially allows them to use, instead of mechanical systems like clicking through electronically, this allows it to use electronically to change from the tail to the head to tell signals that it needs to change the modes. It's quite complicated, and we're not quite sure exactly what it does, the ins and outs of it, but all you need really to know, it allows you to switch from the tail to the top without having to use mechanical systems. Optical thin lenses. These have been on a few products now. The one in the view here is the E12. These look really nice, especially with the copper bezel there. Essentially, it's very thin, but allows you to reach out quite far. Intelligent overheat protection. So this stops burning a hole in your pocket. It's the short of it. What will happen is inside the torch there will be a thermometer that will basically read how hot the torch is getting, and if it's more than 60 degrees, it will step down to make sure that it will not burn anything. It also protects the circuitry inside the light, because you don't want it to damage your light wherever you're using it for. So what it will do is it will dim the light down to a lower light level in order to cool it down. on this instructions here, it does say that it will, if it has the opportunity, it will go back up to a high light level if it can do. But most lights that we find is they'll go down to a level which they're comfortable sitting at, and then they will just stay there. But for example, if you're in a cold place and the temperature can go even colder than that, the light level requires, it might put it back up again. And then number 4 on their list is the BOA headband system. This is one of my favourite things as a runner. This allows you to quickly adjust the headband on the go, loosen it, and reattach it quite quickly. That's on the HM65RT and the HL18RT. But I believe there is a new model coming out soon that does have this as well. But we'll have a look at that later on in the catalogue. Okay, application scenarios. Basically, if you were reading through the catalogue, this would just give you an indication of what these areas are in use for. So we've got EDC for everyday carry, outdoors, law enforcement, industrial, search and rescue, and hunting. We just got a message from Alex Oldfield up in Scotland. It's not cold, it's t-shirt weather. Well, I'm sure he's stronger than I am. I was wearing several layers last night for my run. Here's a brief description of which one is. So EDC, everyday carry, outdoor series. Again, they list the products that would work for that. Tactical series, law enforcement and areas like that. Industrial products, something that we're looking to grow from here in the UK next year, or this year now. Search and rescue lights, very important for mountain rescue teams up and down the UK. And then Phoenix hunting series. That's a bit more prevalent for our American cousins. Right, let's crack on with the lights themselves. So starting with the E series. Everyday carry for most people. So first on the list is the classic EO1 V2. I have this on my keys currently. Where are they? Just there. Nice and easy to carry on your keys, perfect size, and because it's a AAA light, it's easy to switch the battery out when the battery runs out. Not much change there, but a nice 100 lumens and easy to get. EO2R is our smallest keychain light. It's absolutely diddy. 2 light levels on that one, but does crank up 200 lumens, and it's rechargeable by the micro USB. One feature that we have noticed is that the brown has gone. We had they called it fancy brown, I think it was called, a bronze color, what we called it. But that's been dropped from the range. So if you're looking to get the bronze brown color, I'd suggest you pick one up now. Right then, onto the EO3R V2. So this is a new model coming out shortly. It is actually a bit of a upgrade. Written in my, I have got my own physical copy here. I've written some notes in. So the original was 260 lumens, and now we're up to 500 lumens. The battery is up from 200 milliamp hours to 400 milliamp hours. You still get the white light and the red light and USB-C charging, but this one is just a fraction bigger. So instead of being, what we've got here, this is for 52.5 mil, 26 mil, and 13 mil. The old one used to be 47 mil, 24 mil, and 12 mil. So you're looking a little bit bigger in all directions, but it does pack in double the battery and then double the output as well. Right. EO5R. Again, this is a really nice keychain light. Actually, I got my partner one of these for Christmas, and she needed a light, and I thought the green was a very nice colour. Again, they dropped the brown on that one, so if you're looking for the brown, get it now before they run out of stock. Again, 320 milliamp hours, so that is a nice little amount of power there. And what's nice about this one is that the battery port, which is again micro USB, but it's hidden under a rotating charge port cover. This section that's just above the button is you rotate that around and it reveals the charge port. Next, we've got the EO9R, which is kind of the bigger version of the EO5R. It's got the same sort of rotating collar, but you're getting 800 milliamp hours instead of the 320, and 600 lumens instead of the 400 lumens. Both those lights operate on a burst mode sort of feature. So the EO5R, the high mode on that is actually 150 lumens, and if you hold the button down, you get to the 400 lumens mode. On the EO9R, the high is 300 lumens, and again, burst mode, you hold the button down, and then you get 600 lumens, and when you release, it stops there. E12. So this one's been out for a little while, actually, and both of these lights you see on the screen here, E12 and E20, They both take AA batteries. So if you're looking for something that does take kind of more easily available and easily findable batteries, this is a very good one to have, because you say if you are backpacking somewhere, you don't have access to batteries or charging, for example, charging your lithium batteries, and you've got shops around that have the AA batteries, you can swap these ones out. So that's a nice little light for that. Again, it's got that ultra thin optical lens on the E12, making it a very nice little torch to have. It's also got the two-way body clip sort of thing. So as you can see in the picture of the man above, you can clip it onto a hat and use it as a head torch. And over to the E20, this is kind of our inspection light, perfect for vehicles and things like that. Just a very nice simple light to use, all tail operated, and you just tap through it to go through the modes. Nothing too out of the park about this one, but it's a nice and easy one to use, and again will fit quite handily in your pocket. Next, the E18R V2. So this is an absolute diddy little light, but it does pack quite a punch. You're looking at 1,200 lumens with this one, and since its release, it's been quite popular. I think because it's got so many little features to it. You've got the two-way body clip, so again you can attach it to a hat. The bottom is magnetic, so you can clip it to a vehicle and have it from the hanging from the bonnet if you're trying to inspect that sort of area. USB-C charging, and again you've got electronic lockout and physical lockout in these ones there. Again, as well, the battery on these ones, powered by 16340 batteries. You can actually get replacements for those, so if you're taking it for a long trip, you can take multiple batteries with you, and it makes it really easy to carry around with you. Next, the E28R. So this one's been around for a little while as well, but it's a very popular light. Again, because it hasn't got a tactical tail switch, some people like it because it's less aggressive, and it's just easy to use as a simple torch. Powered by 18650 batteries, it means that you can take spares with you again, and it's also quite bright at 1,500 lumens. I think we picked this up for one of our dealers who passed it on to an old lady who had a ridiculous little light, couldn't find her dog in the dark, and got one of these for her, and now she's blinding half the neighbourhood because she doesn't know how to use it properly, but she can now find her dog, which is the main thing we're looking at there. Run times on that, very good run times, especially on that Eco 30 lumens. 73 hours, so if you're in an emergency, 73 hours is a long time for you to use that for. And even on 17 hours on the low 150 lumens, with my running head torch, I use it at 130 lumens, and that's perfect for what I'm doing there. So 17 hours on the low setting, that will get you through most nights, and if not a bit longer, depending on what time of year it is. And again, that's got that thin optical lens on that one. Right, a new one here, E35R. So the E35V3 is what we currently have in stock. That is rechargeable, but what you have with that one there is the battery has the USB port in it, and you can charge the battery from that. This one has the USB port inside, USB-C charging port in the side of the torch that you can just recharge from that. Also with that, the lumens is up from 3,300, and we think because of the 70-hour runtime on it, you're looking about a low setting about 30 lumens, comparatively what the previous one had. It's also got a magnetic base, which is a nice upgrade, which allows you to clip onto something and then use it remotely. Right, some new lights that came out last year, only one of which we actually have in stock. The other two we didn't think that we didn't get much demand for the other two, which were the E-Spark and the E-Star. If there's something that you would personally want, just get in touch with us if you're in the UK, of course. If you're looking to get these sort of lights, just let us know and we can potentially order some in. We felt because of the waterproof rating of IP24, which is not the best waterproofing in terms of the UK weather, we thought we'd wait and see with those ones. The ECP, on the other hand, has been quite a good seller, especially the black one, which looks very stylish. That's got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery power pack in there, which you can use as a power bank. You can recharge your phone with that. Even on the largest phones, we actually looked into it on our previous video, that you can charge even the most newest iPhone on this up to full capacity. As well as the power bank option there, you've got 1,600 lumens flashlight. Of course, that will drain from the battery, so you've got to decide if you're going to use the brightness of the torch or you're going to use the power bank side of things. But at the end of the day, it's there if you need it. I also believe if you've got an Android phone, it does actually work with fast charge, but not with Apple, unfortunately. Sorry. Right, moving on to the LD series. So nothing really has changed here for this year. Firstly, we'll start with the LDO2. This is the last in the kind of LD small pens range. This one has the UVC plugged into it. And that means that you can then use it to see things like, for example, the UV is used as a water light checker in some scenarios, or any place you're just trying to check if there's any UV staining or anything like that. It comes quite handy there. That's powered by a AAA light and AAA battery, so it's quite easy to change in and change out. And at only 92 millimeters, so 9 centimeters long, it's absolutely tiny and perfect to fit in your pockets. Then the LD15R. This one's been around for quite a while now, but to be fair, it's ever popular still. I believe it might be due an upgrade soon. Don't quote me on that one, but it's been a while that it's been out for, but it's still, like I said, very popular. It's got the two-way body clip on it, so you clip it to yourself, clip it to a hat if you're working in that regards. Micro USB charging, so it's a bit dated in terms of the charging source, but still will charge fine. And the magnetic tail, which is again a great feature if you're working on vehicles. The LD22 V2, that came out last year and was a nice upgrade to the LD22. What this one had was quite nice is that you have both the capacity to use AA batteries, so you can run it again if you need that conventional means, or you can use the 1100 milliamp hour battery pack. So you can have that charged up and then it can go to those higher outputs. The only thing with if you're using it on the AA battery, you don't get the full output setting on that one there. But again, it's really easy to charge up that lithium ion battery pack. And that's activated by the tail switch, and then it's got the side button to switch through the modes. Right, and then onto the LD30. This one is a very nice little light. It's quite similar to the E-series lights, but again, it's got the forward and backward body clip sort of thing, both ways on that. Rear button tail switch on, and then you've got the 4 button to switch through the modes, and powered by an 18650. Again, it's just a nice, simple looking torch. It's not aggressive or anything like some of the torches that we have in the series that are very looking towards kind of tactical elements. This one's just perfect for someone who just wants a torch. But at 1,600 lumens, it's definitely not just a torch. That is cracking out a serious amount of light, and it's really lightweight. So perfect for camping, hiking, or just everyday carry, really. Right, then we move on to the PD series. Again, if you have any questions in the chat, guys, just drop me a question there. I can read it. If there's anything else, like saying you want to say what your favourite light is or anything like that, or what you currently have, let us know. That'd be great. So PD series. We have got, one of my personal favourites. I actually picked this up for Christmas, which was the PD25R. It's just like a little tactical torch. So if you look at all the other tactical ones we've got there, very similar styling with it. It's got a tail activation, it's got the forward changing button, two-way body clip on it, and it's got a nice, for its size, deep reflector. It can reach out quite a far distance for its size. What's also nice about it, again, you've got that rotating cuff there to keep any water and debris out of the charge port, so it makes it really easy to charge up. And again, it's such a small unit, it's perfectly pocketable, and you hardly know it's there. And that was really good when I was up in York at Christmas time and needing to see where the car was. Just pull up my light and be able to see where the car was. You can also use CR123s with that, but the 800 lumens you will not reach with CR123s just because it requires that bit of extra power that the lithium batteries give. In fact, the lithium batteries that it comes with are the P batteries, which gives it a bit of extra power to reach those 800 lumens. Right, then we move on to the PD32V2. It's been around for a little while, this one has. I think it came out kind of early last year or just late the year before that. We've recently had it featured in Total Kart magazine because it was a great one that could really punch out there. In terms of the range, 1,200 lumens, and it can reach out 395 meters, where if we look on the other page at the PD35V3, 1,700 lumens, it's reaching, much further than that one already at less lumen level. So if you're looking for something that is compact, that can reach out for far distance, the PD32V2 is a great light for that. It doesn't come with a battery, but so you can buy a spare battery and pop that in there. It's also all activated from the tail switch using a bit of a different series to some of the other ones there. It's just one button to push it on, and then you tap lightly through to change through the modes. That one there has actually got it basically hasn't got the electronic changing there. It is a functional kind of mechanical switch. Hello from Switzerland. Nice to see people tuning in from abroad. Any questions, Legion, just let me know and I can try and answer them. Like I say, I don't know everything, the ins and outs of the catalogue. There's so many products that we've got now and we don't get the chance to all test them. But like, hopefully we'll be able to see a lot of these ones and see where we're going with them. PD35V3 is the next one. So that is a cracking light. It's been a go-to, the PD35, for quite a while now. It's not crazy out like lumen outputs. 1,700 lumens is a very respectable amount of light to be using. Sometimes when we have lights that go far too high, they get basically too hot too quickly, and then they're not particularly usable. Because this has got this is an 18650 body. It's a narrow body, so the head on the torch, where most of the heat is absorbed and like that, it is a smaller area, so it can't deal with too much heat. So 1,700 lumens is a perfect amount for that. And then we look down 600 lumens, 150 lumens, and 50 lumens, and 5 lumens for the eco. So you've got a fully usable range there, especially that 5 lumens eco. 5 lumens is perfect for when you're doing stuff in, say, in your tent and you don't want to blind yourself. That is a good one there. PD35V3 it has a rechargeable battery, I believe. Yep, it's got the USB port inside the battery itself. So it doesn't have a charger port on the outside cover, which has its benefits in case you don't want to have the problem of damaging the battery port cover, for example. If there's no battery port charger element there, you won't have a problem damaging it because it's not there. Next one, though. The upgrade to that one is the PD35R, which is the rechargeable version. And we have seen a demo model of this, and we're actually quite impressed by the bung that comes with the charger port. Some people don't like the rubber bung that goes over it, but we've actually looked at this one, and the bung on it is very solid. Like, it properly seals in there, and I don't think that many people will damage that. Fingers crossed they don't. Hello from Canada. Nice to speak to you, James. Let us know what your favourite torch is as well, James, if you can. So 1,700 lumens on that one. So exactly the same amount of output on there, but you do actually have, well, it's a little bit less range in it. It might just be because they needed to change the reflector on terms of the adding that kind of charge port sector in there. Runtime, they've quoted 100 hours, so that means that they probably have changed that Eco 5 to something a little bit higher, lessening the runtime in it. But then again, it may be because they felt that the 5 lumens wasn't as usable as other elements. They might have just shifted that along a bit. Haven't seen the runtime charts on that one yet, but when they do come out, we'll be able to have a look at that. That is one key feature that we do say on My Phoenix, is that all Phoenix lights have the runtime charts present in the on the instruction manuals, and here in the UK, we do actually put the runtime charts on our website, so that if you've got any questions or want to see about how the torch will react, you can see that, unlike other manufacturers who might not display that information. Okay, moving on to the PD36R and the rest of the PD36 range. Right, this is a classic torch. I remember when it came out, it was using the 21700 battery. It just gave such a good amount of runtime, being 5,000 milliamp hours straight out the bat. You've got a tactical tail switch. You've got the one button at the back to turn it on, and then you've got the selector at the front. 1,600 lumens. Again, a nice respectable amount of light to be using there. I think people see from the big headline, like 3,000 lumens that we see on the PD36 tag, and not really know how much light is used in certain places. It depends on what you're using it for, of course. If you're trying to reach out a far distance, you might need something that's small with a lot of lumens to reach out that far. But for what most people need a torch for, you don't need that much light. Even when I'm doing my trail runs, I use 130 lumens, and if I need a bit more light, 400 lumens. I never touch the 1,300 lumens it's got. just don't need it. Back to the PD36R, that the range of 283 meters. Well, that's several meters that you can see far across a good range for, and 115 hours there. It's a good runtime there. Again, you've got that 2-body clip, depending on how you want to mount that one. So you could mount it on a backpack, you could mount it in your pocket. It depends on how you want to do it. Might be a little bit too heavy for a baseball cap, but you might want to try that if you can. And that, like many torches, comes with the battery level indicator, smart memory output, so remember what setting you used it on recently. And yeah, it's a nice torch. It's not overly tactical, but it has that kind of application for tactical elements too. Then the PD36 TAC. This is the, like I said, the tactical flashlight for this one here. What's nice about this one is that you've got a mechanical lock symbol already on it. So if you're wanting to lock the torch out, with the PD36R, let me see, I can't remember if that one's got a electronic lockout, but most torches that you can change the battery, the lockout is essentially you have to undo the battery cover or the battery tail cap to basically disconnect the battery, and that's your lockout. Where the PD36 TAC actually has a lock button on it, and you can't actually push the button with that symbol selected. You've got the two modes, the duty mode and the tactical mode. Duty mode is your light levels, so you're going from eco, low, medium, high, where the duty mode puts you straight into turbo mode, and it's perfect for things like if you want to just be, again, for law enforcement, you want to strobe people, if you want to get light straight on area, that's what it's there for, and it's just a quick rotary switch around, so nice and easy to use. What most people often when they get it they find it quite strange using it, because again, it's not the clickiness that you're used to with other torches. So don't be put off by that one there. The only reason why it doesn't have that same clicky sound is so it's a bit more tactical. You don't want to be going click click and showing where you are. Again, with the PD36 TAC, it's got that 3000 lumen output. You'll find that probably does actually get that torch very hot quickly, so use that sparingly. I think it's there in case you want to quickly inspect an area and then turn it off again. Oh, interestingly, I was looking at that now and say the meters. I might have to check into that. They might have a typo on that meters, because then 3000 lumens going that far is yeah, they might have the meters wrong there. But I will double check that, and if it is different, I'll put it in the comments afterwards, guys. Right, the PD36R Pro. Well, this is been a great torch this year. When this came out, well, I think it was a few months ago. It's just really taking the market a bit by storm. It's taking one of the best elements of the PD36R and then just giving it a bit more of a change up. You get the inner proofing designing with the charge cover, USB-C charging, 5000 milliamp hour battery like before, but you have got the dual button tail cap system. So you have the main button to switch it on and off, and then the secondary button to go for the modes, as well as instant strobe. I like this torch. Again, it just feels a bit better in terms of the scale of it and how it's using. Some people wish it did have the two-way body clip on it, but I think that's the only thing that I've seen people not liking particularly on it. But again, if it's just really easy just to slide it onto yourself with that size, two-way can be a bit more of a faff sometimes, so it's something that isn't really a problem, I found. Again, 2800 lumens output. It hasn't got that 3000 lumens, but I don't think it needs it. If you're going too high with the lumens, it just becomes unusable. I'd say probably better to use it on that kind of 350 lumens medium or high 1000 lumens. So also with that one there, it does come with a red version recently. So we've for a short period of time there is the PD36R Pro Red. If you're looking for something that's a bit more, give it a bit more style to it, and you want something that's a bit more unique, have a look for that one from your distributor. Right, moving on to the PD40R. So this is our rotary flashlight. So it is a useful one if you don't like to use buttons, or for example, if you don't have, example, if you're wearing gloves, if it's a cold weather where you are and using a tail button, switching around just isn't your thing, and you just want to be able to go rotate the cuff around and put on your light level, that's perfect for that one there. Again, it's got a nice 5000 milliamp hour battery, 3000 lumens output, 1000 lumens, 350 lumens, and 30 lumens on it. So you've got a full range of modes there. USB-C recharging. Again, the main thing about this one, you don't have to use the buttons to go through it. You just go click, 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 select what mode you want, and it's just there. And it's really easy to use. It's non-aggressive, and it looks the part. It was recently as well as a part of our Christmas gift sets where it came with a free EO1 as well. I think we've got some of those left over, so if you're looking for a gift for someone just after this Christmas season and you think this light might be perfect for them, do check out those gift sets. UC35V2. So the UC series is kind of, I think it's the last one of the UC series. They were quite popular. I can't remember what UC stood for, but yeah, there was a full range of these ones here. Again, a very nice, easy light to use. Got a good range on it, thanks to quite a deep reflector on it. And again, you've got the kind of rear tail switch and forward switching mode and a one-way body clip. Nice and simple on this one. It's, again, if people are looking for a unusual, just a standard torch, this is something we might recommend to them. Right, we're moving on to the TK series. So if you have any questions that I've gone through, guys, if I've breezed past things a bit too quickly or haven't answered what you were looking for, just let me know and we'll go back and I'll catch you at the end. Chris Evans is looking for a new head torch. He's a gas engineer and looking for leaks with a candle is apparently not a good idea. Yes, Chris, don't think you should be using a candle anymore for gas leaks. Appreciate your comment, mate, and thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I can suggest you some nice head torches later, mate. Right, so TK series. We are going to look at these ones. They're a bit of a tactical ones here. So if you're looking for something that is a bit more law enforcement focused, we'll find you something in this section here. TK11 TAC. Again, I can say that's one here. Unfortunately, we haven't had it in for a little while now, but it's still in the catalogue. We thought it was going to be discontinued at some point, but if it's still in the catalogue, it should hopefully turn up, but we'll see. If you're fortunate to have one of these ones, we can suggest that. You've got the nice tail cap on that one there, which allows you to switch through the ones, same as on the PD36R TAC. 1,600 lumens, 335 meters. Yeah, it's got that kind of duty mode, and it's a nice, simple torch to use. Depending on what you like, I think most people have found the TK16 V2 a very popular torch recently. I can remember last year, I think it was our best-selling torch of 2022, and it was just a cracking light. If you're looking for something that is going to be, tactical, you've got the tactical tail switch. Easy to use, just turn it on, and then you've got the secondary button, then switch through the modes, as well as strobing as well. It's also got these stainless steel, tungsten steel braking tips on it, so if you do, for example, need to break through glass in case of an emergency, we don't want breaking in non-cases of emergency, you just smash through some glass, you've got that element there, you can just hit on the glass in there, and that's probably been the best way to do it. Other models where they have got a more strike bezel, they say there, might not be the best option because they might probably damage your head, but this one here, having those tungsten strike tips, they're going to be the ones that will probably do the best job. Again, that's got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, so plenty of runtime, especially on that Eco 30 level, 43 hours. During the summertime, that's going to be at least 3, maybe 4 days of darkness there. It's got 3,100 lumens. Even at a level, it will have some thermal step down, so just when you're looking at lights, just pay attention to that. Like I said, look at the runtime graphs, just so you know what your torch will do. The hot little icon there, it doesn't say it's going to get hot, but it does say it probably will get hot if you have it running on turbo for a long period of time. Right, moving on to this year's very popular torch, the TK20R. So this took kind of all the best elements from the TK16 that we saw the year before, and just gave it a much just a nice upgrade to it, really. Everything that they thought was good about it, they kept, and anything they thought they could upgrade, they did. So the big upgrade for it is that it's got the rotary charge port cover bit here. So you rotate that around, it reveals the charge port cover, and then you can recharge using this USB-C charger. And on the back of that, you've got the battery indicator as well. The beauty, say, because the issue with, not the issue, but the thing with the TK16 V2, the battery was a U battery. You had to recharge the battery by putting the USB port directly into the battery itself. This has got the ability to just charge the torch, which is nice, and it hasn't got that rubber bung that some people don't like. You can just undo the cuff there and plug it in, and it will just keep any muck and grime out and just keep it all waterproofed. In terms of range, you actually do get a fair bit of range for this one. On the 3000 lumens, you're getting 475 meters. In comparison to the TK16, which had, let me just refer to this, 380 meters. So you're getting a much further punch than the other one, even though it's got less lumens. I think this is because on the TK16, the reflector was a bit shallower, but also this has had an upgrade in the LED, so it just kind of punches out a bit further. Again, you've got that nice long run time, 48 hours and 30 lumens. It's a nice light to be using. I think this has been, if we did our kind of products of the year one, this would have been the flashlight of the year because it's just sold so well and people just really enjoy it. Right, moving on to the TK22 TAC. So this one, yeah, we've seen a lot of these ones from recently. It's kind of been what the TK11 TAC hasn't been as such, because it hasn't been around, but the TK22 TAC has taken that upgrade of the 21700 battery and given us that really deep reflector on it. So this one can punch out to 540 meters, even further than the previous ones, just because it's got such a deep reflector. It's got a bigger head on it, means that it can it can dispel the heat a lot easier, so you don't have overheating on it. And again, it's got a lot of elements, a tactical tail switch, so you can lock it out. You can go directly to instant strobe. Yeah, it's been such a nice one to use, and I'd like to see more from that, really. I think it could probably be upgraded to have a rechargeable element to it. If they could do it similar to the TK20R with the rotary port, I think that'd be a great upgrade to it. This runs as well as on the APF system, and actually we found out that you can actually put the other tail cap on this one and it'll still work. So I'm wondering if at some point they're going to release a TK22 without the TAC element to it, and have that really big reflector and punch without and having the choice between tail caps. Right, moving on to the TK26R. So this one's a bit interesting because it has red, white, and green light sources built into it. What you have from that is it has separate LEDs in this one. They aren't, say, particularly powerful, different ones. So the white is the main powerful 1000 lumens there. The red and green light sources are a bit lower powered sort of thing, but they have their uses depending on what you're doing. Red and green, probably best for kind of trying to stay covert and not affect night vision. If you're using less of the light spectrum, you're going to use less of it and affect your eyes less. Again, this was an 18650 battery, so a bit smaller on this one, but it was USB-C charging when it came out, so it is a lot faster in its charging sources. And it's got the dual tail switch on this one. It's got a... apparently says... I think that's again another typo there, because there's a dual tail switch on that one where I think it's got a forward button on that one. So, yeah, so rear activation and then a tail switch on a forward button on that one there. Right, now moving on to the TK30. So this is something called an LEP, a light excited phosphor light. Instead of using an LED, which basically the LED just takes the electric circuit and then current and then basically just lights up, this one works by shining a laser onto a diode, and then the diode basically brightens up and goes and shines the light out from there. What it does mean that they can use a lot of they use a what's the best way to put this one? They really focus the light using reflecting types in the barrel. It's got quite a long barrel on it to kind of then trap all the light energy. And what it does, it means you get a super tight beam on it, very little spill on it, and it can reach out a huge distance without having to use much lumens essentially. For example, 500 lumens, and it reaches over 1200 meters. So it is a cracking torch. Whenever we go to events, Boss Rob here, he likes to get his out and put on a light show for everyone. Powered by a 5000 milliamp hour battery as well. It's got the runtime to do it. It's only got two modes in it. It's got a high and a low, but for what this is, it only needs that. Then we're going to move on to TK35 UEV2. So this one's been out for about a year and a bit now. It is a very nice light. I actually really like it. It's small, compact. It's all tail operated, but I just really like the look of it. The way the LEDs work as well. It's believe it's got a 3-point LED system on it. Looks very similar to the LR series, which we'll come into a second. And it's got a huge 5,000 lumen max output, more than you ever need for it. But again, it's kind of a nice step in between being one of these small compact torches and a far-reaching torch. Because the small compact ones have the issue of heating, trying to get that far distance out there, where some of the bigger searchlights, they're just really big and they're not practical to carry. But this one is just the right size. It really fits in the palm of your hand, and it will fit in a bag quite easily. Instant strobe on that one there, so it has got the tactical element to it, but it's a cracking light to use. The only thing with it is that it takes it hasn't got a rechargeable element to it, so you have to charge the 18650s, and again, because it requires two 18650s, you probably have to get a charging cradle for it as well, so a separate charger, which we'll come on to later in the program. Next, the HT series. So this is a good one for basically HT standing for hunting, but most of these are long range lights. So the HT18, this is a cracking light. I actually absolutely love it. I've actually got a test model that I use quite regularly, and it essentially, because you've got the big reflector on it, it can reach out to a huge distance. So you're looking at 925 meters, and it will just reach for miles. Unlike the LEPs, like the HD30 you just see below, which we'll go on to, it has a big flood area on it. So if you're, for example, I do suggest this for anyone who's trying to search for an area that, for example, mountain rescue or something like that, you want to be able to shine a light out and then, not just have that hot spot, you want to have a big flood as well. That does actually take advantage of that. It comes with two filters, red and green as well, so you can pop those on there if you want to keep it a bit more tactical, to offering a bit of a colour difference there. Again, it's all, you've got the tactical tail switch and you've got a forward point on it as well. Being a 21700 battery, you can actually still mount this onto the body tube. You can mount on a rifle if you're that so way in wanting this for that. But again, it's a really useful handheld, and like some people even want it for dog walking, because again they've got a dog that runs off so quickly, and they just want something that will just light the entire place and they can track on to them. HT30R. So this is our latest LEP. It does reach out a huge distance, 1,500 meters. So that's 300 meters more than the previous TK30. And again, using 500 lumens. I think it's just got a bit more of a tighter barrel on it, so you get a longer barrel on it, so it just punches out a bit more further. So it probably has a little bit less spill. Run times on it though a bit better, because you're going 7.25 hours. That way is probably, I can't remember the charts on that one, but I think it's because it's got a slightly lower level on it, so less lumens on the low levels to giving you that longer run time. Because it's APF technology, the Advanced Pulse Frequency Transmission System, it means that it's all done via the tail, so then you don't have to switch around the front to the back, you can just use it all from the tail. And that's also got a hidden charge port cover as well. It's a bit weird, this one, because actually the head rotates up on that one, but it does reveal the charge port USB-C cover on that, and makes it nice and easy to keep it clean and tidy. Especially you want to keep that one clean and tidy, because it's a quite an expensive torch, and you don't want to be damaging it just because you've not kept it clean. Right, so we're going to move on to the LR series. So I'm going to really slaughter the name of it, but Orkan Kavas, LR60R he mentioned before the stream even started. We're going to look on that one, which is the LR60R, which is the latest on the new LR series from Fenix. So we'll look into that shortly. I don't know too much about it, but I've got a few, looking at the catalogue and seeing what I've seen, I've got a few insights into it. So the LR35R is again one of the main lights that we send out to mountain rescue. It is a really compact light. It has a huge amount of output in terms of that's 10,000 lumens, and it can reach over 500 meters. It's got quite a good spill light on it as well. So again, if they're searching an area of mountainside, especially what's happened recently in Wales, like with the flooding and stuff like that, they need to search a gully or a gorge, they can do that quite easily with this torch. It is powered by two 21700 batteries, so they can switch the batteries out if they need to keep going through the night, especially these long winter nights, and they need to have that output. And again, because it's got that big head, it can deal with those higher lumen levels. Even 10,000 lumens, it's probably quite a bit too much of the head, so it will step down. But looking at the medium of 1,200 lumens, that will last a huge amount of time, and that's a huge amount of light as well. USB-C charging. So, like I said with the TK35 UE, these lights look very similar. I think the UE slightly smaller and a bit tighter, but it doesn't have that charging element, so it makes that less appealing. As this one here, you can just charge it by USB-C. LR40R V2. So we have got an upgrade to the LR40R. This is again one of the mainstays of Mountain Rescue. I think it's because of the deep reflector on this one, as well as having the floodlight. It's got a ring of floodlights around it, allowing you to illuminate the close area, as well as having that deep reflector to punch out a good distance. It just makes it a really versatile light, and we sold so many to Mountain Rescue. What's the differences between the old LR40R and the new one? You are looking at about a 3,000 lumen increase. So it's gone from 1,200 lumen, 12,000 lumen, get my teeth backing, people. 12,000 lumens to 15,000 lumens. That's increasing the range from 773 meters to 1,000 meters. So a huge range there, a whole kilometer there. The only difference that we can see notably is that the long run time on it has shortened down to 26.67 hours. I think they've just gone for a taken the eco away too, so it's not as low level there, but it might not be useful for some people. We have change in battery types. The previous battery there was a battery pack which consisted of basically 4 18650 batteries, or you could use 18650 batteries. Now you've got 21700 batteries, so it does take the maximum capacity up from practically around about 12,000 milliamp hours to 15,000 milliamp hours now. So you've got a bit more capacity as well, and you've got the easier way to change the batteries in and out. Especially as there's more 21700 torches being used now, even headlights, for example, in the HP30R takes 2, the HP25R takes 1, and the HM70R takes 1 as well. Again, that's USB-C charging there, and what's nice about this one here, you actually got a rotary toggle switch on this one. So instead of having a button, you've got a rotary element to it, which might make it a bit easier if you're using gloves when you're using it, especially when it's wet weather and things like that. You just need to rotate the button round, and it will change the light levels. We'll have to see how that one works, because it probably will come with a lockout on that one, but we'll see how that one works. LR50R, so that one, it's a bit different in terms of the LR40R. This one has 4 LEDs in it that essentially all work at the same light level, unlike the LR40R, which had that one deep spot beam and the flood beams. This one has basically a big floodlight in your hand. 12,000 lumens, 950 meters. Essentially that was generated by just really upping the light level and just pushing out a big distance. But then it has the kind of 58 hours runtime. Again, powered by a big battery pack, which was equivalent to 4 21700. So it did have a huge battery capacity, hence it could kind of use those big outputs there. One nice feature they did include on this one, as well as they put it on the LR40R, I think it's on the LR80R as well, it's got this sensor which changes the output basically, depending on if you're close to something. If you get too close to something, it will drop the light level down, save you kind of blinding yourself, or if you put it down, stop you burning anything if you just put it straight down. Right, on to the LR60R. So, Orca Canvas, if you're listening in. So the LR60R, it reminds me of, I can't remember what torch it was. We had, I think it was a WT worklight torch. We had this kind of right angle, handheld like that. So instead of holding it like the LR80R next to it, it's rear mounted. I believe you can switch the mounting position. Looking at that, you could put it around to a different angle for that handle there, or it is removable if you don't want the handle. Battery pack for 21700. So again, it's nice to see them going with a conventional one instead of a specialized battery pack, meaning you can easily replace batteries. Because especially if the battery packs, like for example the LR80R, comes with the entire battery as an item. If we can't easily get those in for whatever reason, 21700s on this one is a lot easier to get in. Again, 18,000 lumens, so a huge output there. again, I haven't seen anything more than this in this catalogue with this one here, so I don't know what the reflector looks like, but all I can tell is that you've got the OLED screen display, showing you kind of what your output is, what your runtime is, what battery you've got left in the unit, a bit of information there, and what's happening there. You then have a USB discharging and charging element just there. But what's most interesting about this one, instead of having buttons to change level, you've got a rotary cuff. So it's like the PD40R in some regards. So it might make it useful if you are doing gloved work and you just don't have that tactile element, especially thick gloves in the winter. You can just rotate the cuff around to change the light level. I'm not sure how that works. I don't know if it's kind of a click it one way and release and that will tap it up for levels, or if it's a proper rotary cuff where you go right around to what you want. As soon as we know more from Phoenix, we'll let you know. But until now, this is all we've got. Weight-wise, 1,382 grams, including the battery. So it's a bit lighter than the LR80R, so it's a bit more portable. So yeah, it might be a really good one to use. We'll just have to see what more comes from this when it comes out. The LR80R, well, anyone who's been to Endure 24 knows how much I love this light in the evening. I quite frequently like to draw people to our tent by shining it up into the sky. And it's just an insane light. It just really punches out there, and it just provides so much light on an area. Again, we've had people in Mountain Rescue wanting these, again, because it's just a practical way to get a lot of light on a big area quickly. You've got the massive head there with lots of thinning elements on it, which will allow the heat to dissipate, and you can use that quite easily. Like I said, the battery is one entire unit, so that entire lower handheld bit is actually the battery. So you can just rotate that on and off and make that change. You've got two buttons on that one. You've got the low output mode and the high output mode, so you can switch between the two of them. But having that high of 1,000 lumens, 15 hours and 40 minutes, you've got a whole evening's worth of, or maybe 2 evenings worth of searching there on 1,000 lumens. I think people don't really know how big 1,000 lumens is of a light level, and it's a very big amount to use. So yeah, I think that's a cracking light there. I think we've even seen it being used on film sets as well as portable lighting, because LEDs, again, they're great for in terms of filming. They don't flicker and everything like that. So yeah, we've seen those go onto film sets. Right, moving on to the WF series. I'm just going to have a quick drink a second because my voice is getting a bit throaty. Right, the WF series. So this is kind of your work flashlights. It used to be quite easy for us before because all the lights in this series used to be ATEX related. ATEX being explosion proof, and it used to be quite easy to kind of clarify this. But the WF26R has been released recently. I'll get onto that in a second. So WF05E is our smallest and simplest ATEX light. ATEX, again, like saying, it's looking for explosions. So Chris, if you are looking for gas engineering, stuff like that, and you don't want to blow yourself up, this could potentially be a nice little one for you there. Or if you smell gas, just don't go there. WF05E, powered by AAA lights, and it's only 85 lumens. I think the reason with most ATEX lights is when you do have a high output of lumens, the chances are that heat generated and things like that could potentially set off an explosion. So by keeping the light levels low, it means that you don't have that issue. So that's a small one there. I believe it is a metal bodied sort of thing, but it's kind of you don't have the kind of keeping that sort of element low there. Where if you look at the WF11E, which is the other one there, entirely plastic bodied, 200 lumens, and again it's designed to be ATEX, IECX and SGS rated. A lot of complicated things that I don't exactly personally understand about reading through all the ins and outs of ATEX, but for those who need ATEX, these go through thorough testing to make sure they pass the standard. So if it has ATEX, the EX written on it, people know who are going into these areas know that these lights are tried and tested to the requirements they need. Then we have the WF30RE, which is the kind of most recent one. It's definitely got a big upgrade to this because most ATEX lights just don't go bright. They just don't have that kind of power or that safety element to go that bright. So 280 lumens is a bit brighter. It's got an orange repeal reflector, so nicely dapple light out and give you a nice spill on this. 170 meters, so not as far as the WF11E, but again, like I was saying, it's probably be a wider spill light. You've got a bigger battery capacity on this one, so it's up to 260 milliamp hours, because this is actually a lithium battery instead of the AAA and AA, the other two lights use, allowing you to recharge this, which is a nice feature to this. And again, it's passed all the testing on the ATEX and IECEx elements there. All you've got to do is just look at what zones it can be used in. For example, this one can be used in Zone 1, Zone 2, and combustible areas, Zone 21, Zone 22, for example. The other lights there, the WF11E, can be used in Zone 0, 1, and 2, so that's probably, if you are looking for something that can go even lower into the zone segments, that's probably a better choice for you there. Yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to show the people at some of the talk shows we'll be going to this year. WF26R, the ATEX light, that isn't an ATEX light, but it's in the ATEX light series. It's in the work light flashlight series. This is the latest one from Phoenix. It was actually released from us a few days ago, and it's I think it's a great light. It's simply just a work light that's got the elements of having a deep, heavy-duty head to it, deep reflector, so it does punch out quite a big way. It's got a big 3000 lumens output, quite a decent 45-hour runtime on it. But what's nice about it, it's got the charging cradle element. You can, for example, if you're in a workplace where you just want to have the light clipped into a place and grab it off the wall and you know it's charged, you just clip it in, clip it out, and it's charging when it's clipped in. We did have a light like this before, which is the RC20. The only issue with the RC20, it came with a specialised battery and it could only be charged in the cradle itself. So if you didn't have the cradle with you, you had no way to charge this battery because it couldn't be charged in a conventional charger. This time around, they have got a 21700 in it, so a standardised battery. But what's also nice is that the charger cradle, you can remove the actual charging cable from the charger cradle. So if you're going away from work and you just need to be able to charge this unit and not take the cradle with you, you can just pull out the charger lead and take it with you and charge by USB-C. Right, onto the WT series now. So, again, maybe WF26R should sit in the WT series, or they might have to recategorize these, but WT is also for work torch, we believe, because these are all torches as well as the other flashlights. WT16R, this is kind of a panel light. You've got the head of the torch, you've got a standardized torch with a 2 LED sort of setup, and then alongside it, you've got this light panel. So you can switch between the flood spotlight at the front, the floodlight at the side, as well as having this a yellow flashing warning light as well. What you also do have is two mounting points on this one. You've got magnets on the back and on the bottom, so then you can mount it. Say if you need to illuminate a large area, but you need to have hands-free element, or if you were looking to illuminate just a spotlight, you can then mount that from there. This isn't a metal body; it's a nice polycarbonate thing, so it's keeping it nice, lightweight. And easy to fit in your bag. It's got a really big pocket clip on it, so you can have a firm connection, so you can put it on your bag, put it on your work overalls and carry it with you. Yeah, it's a really nice one and easy to use. And it's rechargeable by the USB-C charge port. 2000 milliamp hour battery pack inside of it, and it's IP66. Thank you guys for watching, so I can see you there. Any questions, guys, don't hesitate to ask. Right, so now we're on to the WT25R. So this one's a nice one. It's got a pivotable head. So if you're looking to kind of, again, magnetic base, if you want to mount it somewhere and then rotate the torch around and angle it at a certain angle, you can use it as a torch or a right angle torch or mount it in different positions. It comes with an 18650 battery, so batteries are replaceable and you can change those through those. And yeah, it's really easy to use. Convenient to do it, magnetic charging, so you can be hands-free with it, and it is the button on the side there. I think it's a great little light, and yeah, whilst I haven't got a place to use them personally, there's so many torches that I've got in this range that I go, yeah, I'd love to have one of those, but just don't have a use for them. Okay, tactical lights here. Have we got anyone in the USA watching right now, or anyone who uses tactical lights? I'll go through them, but like I say, for us in the UK, tactical lights just aren't really a big thing, but they're in the Phoenix range. We are looking to we have spoken to airsofters, for example, so this is something that we want to kind of potentially push in their way, but I know in America gun lights are quite big. So the GL06 is the new one coming out soon. I can't remember the release date on this one, but it's later this year. It's a bit smaller than previous ones, specifically for lightweight elements there, and it can fit on Glock and the Picatinny rails, as well as the SIG rails that they've got now. There's a special changeover element, so it can be fitted onto those. What's nice about it is it's got replaceable batteries in it, so all you've got to do is you just rotate the head and it pops out, and then you can pop in the battery into it. And also it's got that nice reflective lens on it. I really like the look of those ones. Next, the GL19R. So this one is a basically it's a 2-level torch. You've got your 350 lumens and 1200 lumens as well as a strobe light. Use the little buttons at the back to change between the modes and easily click through those. Nice bit of range on that. I believe you can also put that on a rifle if you want to, and it's got a quick release structure on it as well if you want to change it between your weapons. GL22, this is your laser sight one, so you can put the laser sight on it, red laser light, and I believe they're looking to a green one eventually. There were some talkings and chats about this, but that might be coming out. And then you actually have the flashlight as well. GL19R is rechargeable, has got a rechargeable USB-C port on it, which we'll come onto in a bit, which will explain something cool to you. GL22, you just, again, unrotate the lens, and you've got a CR123 style 16340 rechargeable battery in there. But again, that can fit on the bottom of your rifle there. Right, that's the gun lights over with, because we don't use them much in the country. I think we've sold a few, but we don't sell many over here in the UK. Headlamps. So this is kind of the bread and butter of a lot of stuff we do in the UK market. We sell so many headlamps to different people: fishermen, walkers, runners, mountain rescue. Headlamps seem to be one of our big businesses, so it's really exciting to see when we get some new lights coming our way. So the HL series. So this one is generally stands for kind of headlamp lightweight. I believe it was called before. We're excited about this one here, the HL16. It's been long overdue that we've needed to get a new small headlamp out there that shouldn't cost the earth. 450 lumens, 104 meters, and 100 hours run time. This has a white light, and the other light is a red light, and it's got 2 buttons to switch those modes on. Unlike other ones, this is non-rechargeable, so they might bring out a rechargeable one at some point, but the beauty of it being just AAA, it just keeps the cost down, so people can go, if they want to just have this one and they just put AAAs in it, they can. And you can always provide rechargeable AAA batteries to be more eco-friendly. You just got to go buy them yourself. Again, we've seen the one we've got here. We've got a demo model, and it's super lightweight, and it's perfect for even using as your main one if you're just going for a bit of hiking. Folds nice and flat, or as a backup light if you're going, say, for an ultra marathon or something like that. You need to have a backup light. It's perfect for that. HL18RT. So this is one that again it features the BOA headband that we mentioned earlier. Now the BOA headband, I actually got one here, I believe. Bear with me a second. So the BOA headband is just something that I wasn't so sure when it came out. We were worried about these straps, but this model has proven to be an absolute corker of a light and a corker of a accessory. All you got to do is rotate it to do it up, to readjust it, and then all you got to do is just pull that out and it loosens off. It's a great piece of kit. And then the HL18RT is so lightweight. It's it's a great piece of kit for people who just want a head torch. Some people find head torches just a bit unwieldy on their head. I just don't like the feeling of something heavy on their head. But whenever we've gone to running shows, we've just to feel this and they go, oh my god, this is so lightweight, I'm buying one now. And people, they can't believe how lightweight that one is. The beauty of that one as well, it does come with a rechargeable battery pack, which is just at the back here. But again, you can put in those AAA batteries instead. So if you are doing a race that's a bit longer or an event where you could think, oh, I need some spare batteries, you can take the charge pack with you, and then you can just switch in for AAAs later. So that is a great bit of kit if you just want a all-round running headlamp that will get you through most situations. Even if you've got a long race coming up that you think, oh, I might need a really big one. If you've got that and you've got enough batteries, you should be fine. 500 lumens on the spotlight, but it does actually just instantly come in on the 200 lumens light, and that is far more enough light that you need for most situations. And it will quite happily sustain that 200 lumens level for most of the runtime of it. Now, this is one we're very excited about, the HL32R V2. Again, it's got that BOA headband, so it should be really nice there. A bigger battery on it, 1,900 milliamp hours. Weight-wise, so it's 77 gram excluding the battery, where the other one was 63.2. So you're looking at a little bit of a grammage increase in weight, but I think it's mainly to do with just because the how the extra battery pack and extra bit more element to it. I believe it's actually supposed to be a all-metal body as well, so it will be really good in terms of heating as well. Like you'll have that where it uses the body to help cool the light. As well as being that 1,900 milliamp hour battery pack, you've got 3 AAAs in it, so you can then use both for different things. So again, if you've got a bigger run coming up and you need to have AAAs just in case, you've got them there. Spotlight and floodlight, both are white on this one, so you can choose between it. Don't know if you can use both at the same time, but I can imagine it probably will allow you to do it because they're both white. And it's got a huge 800 lumens output, so if you that probably is combined together with the whites together, but I can imagine it will have a strong output there, be able to reach across a field, so you can spot a gate if you're doing a good trail run, and 125 meters range. That's a big range on that one. But yes, right, moving on to the HL40R. So the HL40R is probably the last focusing lamp we might see in the Fenix range. Never say never, but the FD series that we used to have, that was long gone in terms of the flashlights, and the HL40R is the last focusing light we've got, but it's still in the range. You get this in blue or grey, and essentially you have a button to turn it on, and there's a boost button as well to kind of boost the light up to that 600 lumens, but you can change how you want it in a focused spotlight or a more widespread floodlight. Also, the headband design was actually designed to kind of spread the weight on the back of your head. And it's a nice little kind of unit, but I think it's kind of, in terms of what is out there at the moment, you might want to find something that's a bit more powerful because technology does move on, of course. HM series. So HM stands for head, metal. So all the products in this range are going to be metal bodied, which is going to makes it easier for us there to kind of explain these ones. They're much better dealing with heating as well, built from LEDs. So we'll have a look at these ones. HM23. So this is a little light. It's not going to last you long periods of time. We mainly sell this one really as a caving backup light, or to people who just don't need it for a long period of time. The 240 lumens light on that one there will quickly drop down this one. So again, most of the lights that you look at when you come to buy a light, I would say if you're looking to use it for an extended period of time, never look at the headline graph, look at the mid setting, see what it will do, what kind of for the majority of the running time. But the beauty of the HM23 is it's bomb proof on this one because it can be pretty much run over by a vehicle. The mount on it is rubberized, and yeah, it's practically bomb proof. Takes a single AA battery, so easy to replace those ones, and we sell a lot of them as kind of caving backup lights. If people need to switch between switch batteries on their main light, they can use this one as a backup one, and that'll fit around their neck like many cavers do. HM50R V2. So this one is actually a really nice light. The only thing it suffers from is having such a small battery. It's a really small light. It can be used as a right angle torch. It can be removed from the cradle using the slides. It's got a little clip on the back of it that slides and clips off the head mount. And it has a huge output of 700 lumens, 115 meters, and 42 hours runtime on that one. I really like it because you can angle it up and down. It's got a red light filter into it. So the only thing is that to get to that 700 lumens, it's got to have a powerful battery, and because it's got that powerful battery, it's only got, I believe it is again 700 milliamp hours. It's not a big battery in terms of it. So to have such a big output in such a kind of small capacity battery, it probably won't last long. But in terms of being around the house, short walks, dog walking is a cracking little light, and I think it's a great one to have. So if you're looking for something that's kind of camping, hiking, nothing too extreme, that one is a great light to have. HM60R. So this one is kind of been looked at as a running light because they have built in this frequency sensing thing where basically it dims the light depending on how fast you're moving. That's the thing I hadn't say. On the HL32, it also has this frequency sensing thing. Essentially what this does is, depending on how fast you're running, it will either increase the light or dim the light down. So if your cadence is low, it will dim the light down. If your cadence is high, it will brighten it up. Jury's out on this one. Personally, I don't find use in it, where some people might find it useful. Let us know in the comments what you think about that one. To be fair, anything to let Phoenix know, we'd quite happily hear about it, because I personally think it could be improved, the system, especially as I don't think it should drop so far down for people who aren't particularly fast, or if you come to an area that's a bit more technical, I don't want my light dimming down. The only kind of good side of this one is that it doesn't work it on the it only works on the spotlight, and it doesn't work on the low. It only works on the medium, the high, but doesn't work on turbo either. So you are improved there. So that one's a nice unit, and also in terms of it, it's kind of supposed to be the upgrade to the HL60R, which was an incredibly good unit. That's seen the test of time, and in fact, it was so popular they actually made a second run after discontinuing them because people wanted them. On this one, you got so on the HM60R, you've got 1,300 lumens output, so a good output. You've got floodlight, you've got red light, and also it's entirely waterproof. 18650, single button use, so you can just use the one button to do it. So great for glove work. It can be good for caving because it is that sort of kind of bomb-proof environment. And we have sold some to caving clubs because they were saying even though it does have that kind of frequency sensing, they're not going to be moving fast and they don't want a lot of light, so they can use that kind of low light levels to illuminate what they're doing. Right, HM61R V2. So this is actually an upgrade. This is coming, I believe, in the first quarter of this year. I'll let you know when it comes out. It's got a slight increase in terms of, well, I say slight increase. It's gone up from 1,200 lumens to 1,600 lumens. So an upgrade there. It reaches out another from, it was 145 meters, now 162 meters. And the runtime is the same. So I'm imagining they both have the same 5 lumen low setting, giving you that 300 runtime. Saying it can be removed, it now uses the same system as the HM50R, that you just slide it off and slide it back on again instead of having the little rubber element and pull off cradle it had before. It's just slide on, slide off. It still retains the magnetic base, so you can use that, and it's got that red light there as well. I believe it has changed though to, it says magnetic charging on here, but I believe it actually has USB-C on that. I'll confirm that in the after this video in the chat, but I believe it's got USB-C on that one now. I think again they're moving in that direction from like the how the government's wanting people to now use consistent charging, but I believe that's USB-C, unless what they sent us as a demo model was a demo model. We will see when it comes out. HM65R. So this is a true workhorse of the Phoenix range. It's a great unit to have. That strong white spotlight and the floodlight. It's been a cracking combination. It says 1,000 lumens output there. It's actually 1,400 lumens when you use both together. So you do get a big amount there. This has been used by cavers so much and mountain rescue, just because, again, that spotlight reaches out a big distance. It's lightweight, the batteries are changeable, the headband's comfortable to use. I used to use this version when I was first started running. Again, dustproof, waterproof, impact resistant. It's got all the trademarks of, a Phoenix light being, lighting for extreme. We even have people who are doing extreme Tough Mudders World Championships use this light, again, because it's just such a resilient light and well designed. And again, that's why it's still in the range. And I'm hoping for a V2 version potentially soon. We'll have to see what comes out when it does come out, but we'll see. And we loved it so much here in the UK that we had a specialist version made for, say, only UK purchasing, which was the Shadow Master, which replaced that white floodlight with a red floodlight instead, and that's again being an absolute seller. Right, now I will try not to gush over this one because it's probably one of my favourite lights. The HM65RT, again, took all the best elements from the HM65R, took that BOA headband and put them together, and it's just been an absolute storm in terms of the running market, ultra running market. It's been our bestseller, or one of the best sellers this year, and I think it's going to continue to do really well. I know there's people who are starting on Sunday who are doing the Spine Race, which we have this one, as well as people buying it for the Arc of Attrition down in Cornwall as well. Again, looking for winter races, they're long nights, and you need something that will last the night. Having that output level as well. You've got 1300 lumens on the main spotlight. If you do combine the two together, you get 1500 lumens. But again, I run with it on the low 130 lumen spotlight for most bits. 24 hours runtime on it. That's, for most situations, that's all you need. Or if you want to put it up to the 400 lumens, you've got 12 hours there. And you can switch your battery out. Get like a waterproof battery case for your spare batteries and just change the batteries in a dry condition. And then you can extend your runtime for, 3 days there quite easily, maybe 4 days. So easy to do that one there. And I absolutely love it. I won't go on too much about it because I will spend ages talking about this light. Like with the HM65R, a standard magnesium lightweight material, so it keeps it really lightweight and perfect for kind of being on the move. HM70R, so this one is again another cracking light for us because it is taking that kind of robust element, 21700 battery, so a big long runtime, and just keeping all that waterproof thing. It looks like the HM60R, doesn't have the up and down sensor, which is really good for especially what the main market is for, who needs something to basically just robust. We sell so many to cavers. Again, big runtime, big output, and does exactly what they want it to do. And yeah, cavers absolutely love this light at the moment. Especially as they're on the low level, they can get 100 hours runtime, 30 lumens, 150 lumens, 30 hours runtime. They don't want to spend that much down in a cave, but in case of like situations where you've got the what happened a couple of years ago when the man got stuck in the Welsh cave there, then they were down there for 5 days. They would want that sort of runtime ability to have that, and then recharge the battery, switch them in, switch them out. If you've got a unit which you have to, you can only recharge the torch with leaving the torch behind. That's not great. Here you could just switch the batteries out and get your batteries in the charger to charge them up. USB-C charging on this one. You've got the rotating cover on the other side, so you just reveal that, plug it in there. It keeps that cover nice and clean. Again, what we've seen from cavers when they return the lights, if they've had an issue with them, they are very very dirty, but thankfully this one does try and keep some of the dirt out of there. HM71R, so this is another new one coming out soon. Essentially it's a HM61R, just kind of put on steroids. It's got a really bright 2 light element, so kind of like a HM70R in terms of that flood and spot. Hasn't got the red there, but I think the red would probably, if it does have red, be like the 61 with it internally in the main spot. But again, it's a right angle light. You can remove it from the cradle by a sliding mechanism, and that's going to do really well potentially in the caving market. But we think as well in terms of industrial elements, we're hoping to really take this out to industrial shows this year, get them to work and show everyone out what this one can do. HP series then. This is kind of some good lights in this one that have done us really, really well. HP 16R and HP 25R, very similar looking lights. The HP 16R just has the ability to take 4 AA's instead of the lithium batteries. It has a lithium pack there, but you do have the opportunity there to switch them out. But it does have the a less lumen output there. The HP 25R V2 is an absolute stellar light. This is one of our big fishing lights. Just because of naturally, it's got a huge range on it, 290 meters, and you can use a lower light level to punch out a great distance, especially what fishermen want to be doing. A lot of the time they just want to be hitting, lighting up their rod tips, and then when they're landing, they want to switch it up, land the fish, and then they go back down to the low light level. It's got white flood and a red light. The red light's perfect for baiting up if they're doing that. And a 21700 battery. If they're using it well, that can get them through the night quite easily. But if it can't get through the night, then we have the next one, which is the HP 30R, which has two 21700 batteries, hold 10,000 milliamp hours of runtime, a massive body to kind of deal with heating, because you can go up to 3,000 lumens on this one. And then it's got a rotary element as well to switch up and down through the levels. The nice thing is the battery there, you can either mount on the back of your head, or you can put it in on your waistband to kind of take that weight off there. It's been a very popular one for fishermen, because it's just, you don't have to worry about your lights. You can just leave it on, and it'll run all night long, especially on the respectable light levels. 3,000 lumens of anything is going to be very, 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 very hot. But on 1,000 lumens with that sort of metal there, that will quite happily run on that one. Right, the last headlamp here is it is a new one. It came out about a month or two ago, which was a WH23R. This is our work light. It's our first one. It's got a nice yellow kind of element to it. And essentially there, what you can do with it is use the rotary to go through the levels. It has a button on the side of it as well. So you rotate it forward to choose which you want, spot, flood, or both together. And then use the side button to switch through the modes on the individual ones. So put it into spot, tap through to go through the different spotlights, click it again to go to the flood, tap it through the flood modes, and then rotate it back on. It also has a wave sensor, so you can turn it on and off, but also the nice thing as well, you can switch that on and off, because if you're in a situation where you're really close up and that's going on and off all the time, you go, I need to turn this off, you can turn it off, and then when you're back to doing normal work, you can turn it back on, and then waves on, waves off. So that is a nice feature there. Right, bicycle lights. Right, we're coming towards the end of the catalogue soon. BCO5R, I have one of these, but I use it for running as well. I clip that onto the back of my waistband. It is a super bright light. Keep you seen at night when you're cycling along or running, or whenever you want to be on the roads, if you're a hiker as well or a walker. Having one of these as your tail light, that is a really good light to use. 15 lumen, so again, it's not about shining, allowing you to see, it's allowing you to be seen, which is the main thing. And 120 hours runtime on the low setting is perfect for kind of long distance things. Say if you're like cycle packing or doing any endurance at sport there, or in case you just want to not have to charge to torch it constantly. BC21RV3. So this is our 18650 version. We do have the BC26R. We'll come into a second. They both have a very similar design, but this one is smaller and uses an 18650. Essentially like it's just a narrow torch sort of thing, with the tail cap, the button back to put the torch in, and then the button on top just to switch through the modes. Very sleek design, some good fitting elements there to keep it cool, and you do actually have a bit of side light as well at the front there, so you can be seen from the side. And then it mounts on the handlebars using the quick release one there. BC25R, that is it's kind of on the way out now because it's kind of a bit old now, but still it's in the catalogue. Yeah, it's kind of got an anti-glare thing, so it's not blinding people as you're cycling along. And it has a built-in 2,600 milliamp hour battery sort of element there. Very simple and easy to use, that one. BC26R, so this was actually in a gift set with the BCO5R for Christmas, and we do have some stock of that, so if you are looking to get into cycling, just let us know and we can get you some of those. The great thing about this one, it's got the big 21700 battery, 5,000 milliamp hours. It will run for a very long time, especially on that 600 lumens mode, or if you need to crank up to 1,600 lumens, you can. One thing that we've seen a lot is, again, people been talking to us about bike packing. If you've got to recharge a torch when you're going, what you can do with this one is you can plug a power bank into it and you can use it on the low mode. So some people like that. But also then you can change batteries out quite easily, where some other manufacturers, they have a battery block and you've got to charge the battery block, and once it runs out, you have to wait. Again, very similar style to that BC21RV3, but this one is just a lot bigger, and I think it's a bit better for your money because you get that kind of longer run time and size. Right, BC30R V2, BC30R 2017. I have this light myself for my cycling. You know, it's got a nice kind of heads-up display, so you can see exactly what runtime you've got left, and you can switch through. So depending on what runtime you're on. Hi from Pakistan. Nice to be talking to you guys. Hope it's all well over there. We've gone through most things now, so if you need to catch up, guys, this will be for a replay later on. So do watch it back if you want. We're on to bicycle lights now. So this is an 1800 lumen light, so very bright because it's got the 2 light levels there, and it does have a bit of a what it does have there at the front. It's got a reflection bit, which basically casts any light going up, it will push it back down again, so you're not wasting any light going up into the sky. The runtime is nice. Again, it depends on what mode you're in. It tell you how much runtime you've got on that mode, as well as having a burst option as well. It's got a built-in battery pack, so it does have that kind of element there. So you can just recharge it by plugging the USB. I think it's micro USB. Yeah, micro USB into the unit there to charge it. And then the BC30 V2 is the final bicycle light here. Very similar to the rechargeable one, but this one takes 2 18650 batteries. So if you're bikepacking, you can put some more of those and you can carry more with you. Bigger output of 2200 lumens, but I believe that is on the burst mode only. You are looking at 1500 lumens on the high of that one, so a lot of light there. But 600 lumens on the medium mode is more than enough light for what you're doing. You probably don't want to be blinding cars as you're going past them. This one's a very popular one because it's got a smart wireless remote switch control using Bluetooth, I think it is. And basically, yeah, you just connect the two together, they'll find each other, and then you can mount it somewhere on your handlebar and just change up for the light modes, as well as putting that boost mode on when you need to. These are all really nicely designed, and they're very well cooled, which is the main thing with all these metal models. Right, camping lanterns. CL20R, this is a very nice little, I call it kind of a clamshell light. What's nice about this one, it's really easy to use in terms of just one button. You've got magnetic plates on the bottom, little hanging hook, and you can just hang it up there. Rechargeable by micro USB, and because it's not casting out in all directions, you just basically get a nice kind of light. The light will just go out in a small direction, where other lights, when they want to cast it out in all directions, probably won't have the same kind of lighting element there. Again, reaches out for 15 meters and lasts for 200 hours on the low setting. I think it's a nice little light, and it's perfect in terms of like camp setting. When we went to some shows, people buying this for their kids because it's, again, very user friendly and it's easy to use. CL26R, so this is our main lantern there. It takes 18650 batteries, so you can replace them, so it works with other lights in our series. Comes in 3 colours. We sell a lot of the green ones, again, because it's a good bivvy light if you're a fisherman. You've got different modes in it, so you've got low, medium, high. You've got front facing, so if you're reading a book and you don't want to blind yourself, perfect for that. You've got down 1, down 2, so the light casting downwards, it can change that. And then you've got red light and then red flashing light. So that is all there. Micro USB rechargeable, and it's just a nice looking kind of style light. It's it should work well for any camping setting you've got. I believe we've got Bushman and Blue, one of our YouTube people we know. He uses one of these lights to as his main camping lantern, and it's been doing him very well recently. CL28R, this is our newest lantern. It's more of a work light for what we think there than an outdoor lantern. I guess you could use in that environment. You can angle it using the magnetic plate on the lower hook angle there, and then you can rotate it to kind of just stand itself up. The nice thing about this one is that you've got color variation, so you can change it from a cold light to a warm light, depending on the setting. You've also got red light if you need it as well. And then it's all done using kind of dials instead of being button mode, so you can adjust it to be how you want it. This does mean that you don't have exact light levels settings, but then you can dim it and change it how you want to use it. The 360 hours runtime on 10 lumen lows is good as well. So and inside it's got 2 5000 milliamp hour batteries, but you can't switch those out, so you can only charge it in the unit itself. And, it'd be interesting to see how that one does. We're going to take it to the tool shows. We're going to take it to the outdoor shows, see what people think, and see how well that sells. So let us know if you're interested in that one. We'd love to know what people's thoughts of that one are. That should be going live on our site in the coming days. I believe it should be with us quite soon, actually. CL30R, this is our last lantern in the range. It takes 3 18650s, so it's the biggest kind of, it used to be the biggest capacity one we had until the CL28R came out. Nice thing about this one, it's actually a light that floats. You can, if you knock it off a boat, it could be floating in the water. So we've sold some for that purpose. It can hang by a hook, and then you can also mount it on a tripod. So if you need to mount on a tripod wherever you are, that's perfect for that. And it can also charge out via a power bank. Charging it up, all you've got to do is it takes a micro USB rechargeable. I believe there are talks about having this upgraded soon, so it might come with USB-C in the future, but currently still micro USB. But we don't know when anything with Phoenix comes out. Whatever it says, it could be a while. Right, so that's all the lights there. I'm going to quickly flick through the accessories because, again, there's a few here, but I think most people are interested in the lights. If there's anything I'm going to flick through now and you want to have a bit more information, just email us at myphoenix.co.uk. Best thing to do is sales@myphoenix.co.uk. You can get us there and we'll talk about anything there. Batteries, we've got a full range of batteries from different sizes, from small all the way to the bigs. They're really efficient batteries. Any problems there, just let us know. With batteries, if you're not going to use them for a long period of time, fully charge them and then take them out of the torch, because if you don't, it could lead to the batteries not being working anymore. ALF18 battery holder changes your 18650s to 21700s, so you won't have the same capacity size, but you'll have to fit them in a torch. A2 charger takes, that is mains powered, and the A4 mains powered again, takes 21700 and 18650 batteries, basically 2 bay, 4 bay. D1 is, you basically plug in micro USB into that one, it just charges USB as well. So that's that size there. Again, that can only take, what size does it take? I believe that one is 18650 as well. Doesn't say. We'll find that one out for you in the future. But again, 2 bay and 1 bay charger. They have screens on both these all these chargers have screens on them, so you can take readouts from them. And this is how we actually test if your battery is working correctly or not. Area X1 V2 single bay charger. This is a really nice light if you need to charge your batteries up. 21700, 18650. And all you've got to do is you can either plug it in via USB-C, and you can actually just charge from it using standard USB-A as well. Got new diffuser tips as well, so if you need to use a diffuser, filters there are available as well, and traffic ones, so if you use it for those different things. Got a full range of tactical pressure switches, depending on your light you need to use it for. Really read the information on these carefully, depending on what light you have. Some don't work with other ones, especially with the APF ones. Do read those on our site carefully. Any questions, just get in touch with us or your distributor where you are. AR6S only works with the GL19R. It plugs into the USB-C port there and has a little O-ring around it, so that specifically works with that on a to be worked with a rifle. Then we have all the different rifle mounts, depending on what you want to use it for. Have a look at those. Basically, you fit your torch into there, and depending on if you want to put your pressure switch on there or your torch on there, that will work there. Got your ALPS S&L flashlight holsters. If you want to put you in a different holster, if your torch doesn't come with one, or you want a bit of a better holster, those are there. T6 pen. This is a bit sad that this is hidden back here, but T6 pen is now a torch. It has a torch built into it. It's a nice little one because it goes from 1 to 80 lumens. That 1 lumen is perfect for reading. I use mine all the time to read in the dark and not upset my partner while she's sleeping. It's got a glass breaker on the end, and it's a pen. It's a great one, and we've got sold so many for Christmas presents this year. It comes in black and blue. Well, bluey blacky thing you can see there. New tactical flash ring. If you want to put your flashlight in the tactical flash ring to pull out quickly, that's going to be coming out soon, as well as a quick pull holster. That'll be coming out soon. Got the sports waistband. I use one of these as well for running. Different sports headbands are there. APV20 and APV30 cases, great for keeping your kit nice and safe. Phoenix recently a gun safe box. If you're storing your gun somewhere, it also comes with a 5,000 milliamp hour charging port there, so you can charge that up and then charge your lights from that. Next, we've got the ALB10 bicycle mount. We often sell these as replacement because it's the same type as fits into the bicycle one. So if you accidentally break your bicycle mount holder, you can get these to replace that, or you can fit a torch straight into that. ALB20 snap hooks. These go crazy in certain places. Again, a nice little kind of multi-purpose clip there. ALDO5 is a new helmet holder, so you can put that around your helmet and then clip your torch into that. ALDO8 bicycle mount holder, again, clipping your bicycle light into that there. That will clip in nicely. ALD10 bicycle lights with GoPro interface. Basically, if you've got a GoPro specialist kind of bicycle mount, you can now fit our torches into that one there. ALGO3 V2 helmet mount attachment. This is perfect for anyone who's a caver or basically don't want to have the head mount straps on it. Or a work light, for example, if you're working in an environment where you don't have the straps there, you can just put your flashlight or your headlamp, which will fit into that, directly into the mount attachment there on and off your helmet. Soft flashlight lanyard. I don't think we have these actually. Then we may run out of them, but they're just obviously to wrap around your sleeve so it won't fall off. And then finally, the ALW01 wrist flashlight holder. This allows you to mount a small flashlight, I believe a very small one, from your wrist and then use it to point in the direction you're lighting up. Right, everyone, that is it. I have slightly overrun today. I thought it was taking an hour, but it's taking an hour and 40 minutes. The catalogue also has at the back compatibility guides for all the different accessories to see how they go in there, and then all the kind of specific charts at the back there. Any customer service things, information is there. Lights have a 5-year warranty on them if they can have the battery removed from them. If they can't remove the battery from them, then it's 2 years. And batteries have a 1-year warranty on them as well. As long as you purchase the light in the country of warranty. For example, if you've bought a light from a source abroad, you're not going to get UK warranty. If you're in America and you buy it from us, you're not going to get warranty in America. You can only get it from us. So whenever you're purchasing lights, make sure you're getting it from your country of origin. Otherwise, you're going to have to sort it out yourself or be unfortunately left with a broken light. So make sure you buy it from a correct source. That, I believe, is it. Thank you guys for watching. There's been several of you who've watched today, and I thank you for watching. Any other questions, please ask them to be watching in the stream afterwards. And if you want to know anything more, I will put a thing up on the YouTube page to say anything else you want to look at or any particular models that you want me to really feature in when they come out, let me know, and then we will look at them then. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a brilliant weekend, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.